Small Business Saturday is next weekend. It's become an important day for local stores as they try to compete with those big chains during the holidays. But the pandemic could keep people home in a way that puts more small businesses in danger of closing for good. We're joined now by Annie Spilman, Texas State Director for the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Annie, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're almost 9 months into the pandemic at this point. So give me a sense of how you see the small business community within Texas doing right now.
Well, the small business community is always a resilient community, but we've spoken to our members and, going this far into this pandemic, already operating on thin margins before the pandemic, and then there, any PPP or idle loans from Congress expiring, the small business community is getting worried. We've polled our members, and about 19% of them have said that they will have to close in the next 7 months to a year if the current economic conditions continue as they are.
Is that on top of the businesses that have closed already?
Yes, absolutely. And then, not obviously closing is the worst thing that can happen, but two, many of these businesses have had to let go of employees, have had to scale back their business and business models, and in order to just stay open. So it's not just about, the closing, but it's that they're able to hire people back. And so we're not seeing really any action out of Congress, and we're not expecting any action for a while. And so the way that small businesses feel right now is worried and a lot of uncertainty.
I know it varies business to business, industry to industry, but how much can the holiday shopping season factor into a business's ability to survive?
Well, so for NFIB, we represent members from pretty much every economic sector. But if you think about it, it all sort of comes together because what a customer can spend at a small business, they could put back into, their employees in the form of higher wages or benefits, and then they can go spend that money. They can go travel. That helps the travel folks. It helps the food and fuel folks. It helps the hotels. So it's all interconnected. And, in the past, when we polled our members, 29% of our members said that their annual sales come during the holiday season, and 56% of those members said that the Small Business Saturday gives those holiday sales a boost. So we know it works. And fun fact, you may already know this, but Small Business Saturday was created 10 years ago after the last economic crisis we had, the Great Recession. And it was created to help get those businesses back on their feet. So now more than ever, we're really going to need folks to take advantage of it, which is obviously hard because everyone's really been taking a hit.
And it comes at the worst possible time as cases are spiking and people are going to be less likely to get out and shop. But no matter, how big or small a business is Small Business Saturday kind of at risk this year?
Well, I've noticed, you hear about the Black Friday and, the Cyber Monday, which sort of, I feel like these days everything is cyber everything. I think Cyber Monday is every day, right? But Black Friday, you've seen a lot of retail folks turn Black Friday into, an entire month of Black Friday sales. So in that regard, there are ways that people can utilize Small Business Saturday, but think about it as an entire holiday season. So instead of just Small Business Saturday, to consider shopping local, spending at your local business. And I've seen a lot of my members pivot. They're small business owners, but they're innovative, and they've pivoted in the way that they've had to operate. So a lot of them are, you can call and they can mail it to you, or they can, offer online. But just buying gift cards, and even for friends and family, maybe instead of getting out and buying gifts, buy gift cards from your local small business and let that be, your Christmas present to folks. Or even thinking ahead, I'm going to buy $50 worth of gift cards at this restaurant, and I'll ultimately use those down the road. And a lot of small businesses are not putting expiration dates on those. And it just immediately puts money back into the pockets of the small businesses, which again goes directly to their workers. And then, just one thing that I'll reiterate is, small businesses don't have the cash reserves on hands that these large, corporations have. And so the only way that they can sort of make it through a crisis like this is to count on their customers. Without customers, they can't make it through this. I think it's really important for us all, everyone wants to spread the kindness and help their neighbors. And I think people need to remember that your small businesses are your neighbors. And, they're family owned and operated. And I've heard stories throughout this pandemic of these family businesses that have been around for 35 years or for generations, and they've had to shut down. And what's hurt them more is having to actually let their employees go, who they consider their family. And so anything we can do, any little bit of money, a small amount of money is a life changer for a small business. So buying gift cards online, even for your family holiday dinners or lunches or work lunches or dinners, ordering in from those restaurants and, just keeping them at the top of mind. I know it's easy to shop on Amazon or to get your online deals at Walmart. But think about it. Do those people really put back into your community what these small businesses do? And you're going to see a totally different landscape in the state of Texas if we lose these folks and we don't help them, stay alive and keep these folks employed. And I will tell you that in Texas, small businesses account for 99.8% of all businesses in this state. They employ almost 5 million people. So, what happens when they go? It's not going to look good.
Annie, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there.